Hello, everyone. Welcome to the PIPCAST 3000 episode 66. It's a bi-weekly podcast where we talk about gaming and Fallout, sometimes, often, with a dedicated Fallout topic. I'm joined by my co-host here, BADCompanySarge.
Howdy.
I'm Caedo. I'm hoping you know that by now. Jared's not with us this weekend, but he should be next PIPCAST. It's a bi-weekly 10 a.m. Pacific on Sundays. That I mix that up quite a bit. My bad.
I mean, just subscribe with notifications on, and I'm sure YouTube will definitely let you know.
Yeah, and just in case there's the minute possibility that doesn't happen, check out the Discord, because it goes up there on the dot, usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got quite a few news topics to talk about today, and thanks to a Reddit post that we used as a reference, our Fallout topic is going to be related to the your personal strange quirk in Fallout, like something that you do that you don't think anybody else does when you play. And it could be dependent on game. We could even bring in Skyrim to it if we need to lengthen the topic a little bit.
Sure.
But we do have a lot of news things to talk about, including more the Blizzard nonsense, some things going on with Nexus. Elden Ring mysteriously appearing on Steam. Yeah, just a few things, but we gotta first start with our tip of the day and comment of the cast. So, yep. I'll take the tip of the day if you want to take the comment, Sarge.
Go for it. I'll spend my time to think of a funny voice to do.
Okay. Tip of the day is don't delve too deep into fandoms if you want to avoid the toxic element. And that applies to the Fallout subreddit, the big one, which we were using as a reference for our topic. I need to make sure we find the source of that too, by the way. Okay. That was Jester Rain, user Jester Rain, for that topic. So thank you.
One of the very few good posts on the subreddit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, subreddit. I'm calling you out. Get more people like Jester there to make your posts.
Yeah. So yeah, I've caught myself doing this every so often where I look just a little bit too closely or get a little over invested into a topic. Especially there's so much bait on the internet to like pull you into a conversation that you normally wouldn't, like if you're BSing with your buddies or something like that. So just be mindful of that, I guess. As a little add-on to that tip of the day, especially if you're susceptible to being pulled in to a topic that you have no business being in and you know that. Or like it's going to be a waste of your time and you know it subconsciously, but you're just like, but my opinions. No, it's the internet.
I very purposefully stay away from most fandoms of things I enjoy, and from most comment sections to do anything with them, because I know it's not going to be worth it. Mm-hmm. The amount gained versus the amount lost, it's not a good balance. Yeah.
See, I usually tend to go myself with the intent of helping people, because that's kind of what my channel is based on, right? So if there's something like the classic Fallout subreddit, for example, there's always somebody asking, how can I get my display to work properly with these old games or something like that. I have answers to those things because I spent several days doing that with my computer and getting the classic games to run. So those are the kinds of topics that I stick to. Something that I can share knowledge on, and like the YouTubers subreddit as well, with newbies giving out all kinds of wrong information about how to grow a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That one's more entertainment than contributing. But if you have a new YouTube channel or you're getting into YouTubing, by the way, the YouTubers subreddit is a useful resource. I should put that out there. But you should also pay attention to, or be wary of some of the topics that are posted. Like if somebody's being matter of fact about how the perfect way to grow a channel, they're probably wrong. Because there's no one single way. Anyway, yeah, comment to the cast, Sarge.
Yes, it is by Roshi, who says, I like the idea of VATs changing with the difficulty. Also, as an older person who has played video games since their inception, my FPS skill has reduced with age. That helps keep me interested in such games. which I think is a very smart comment, read in a very stupid voice.
Thank you, Roshi.
We talked about VATs last time, and that is an important thing to keep in mind, that if you do get worse at certain elements of playing a game over time, having a mechanic within that game that lets you keep playing them and have fun is positive.
Yes. That much I very more recently agree on, because I'm being forced to play a lot more games with a controller, even though I don't want to.
Yeah.
Nope, not gonna do it.
Nope. No ranting.
Those who want to be
all that anger for the first news topic.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude. Those who want to be on the comments of the cast, all you gotta do is leave a comment. That's pretty much it. Contribute to the conversation in some way. Comment on the topic or the new stuff we're talking about or whatever. We could bring a comment on in the next episode. So just a heads up if you're new here and stuff like that. That's how we do it. And it keeps the engagement going too, which seems to be working pretty well. So yeah, man, how about that Blizzard president stepping down?
Ooh. So I took the topic on the last PIPCAST, but we were talking about Blizzard and just going over the very basic outline of roughly what had gone on. But since then, all the backlash has properly been happening.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest parts is who was the current Blizzard president, now the ex-Blizzard president, J. Allen Brack, has stepped down amid all the harassment allegations and controversies and the lawsuits and everything.
Yeah.
Because he was someone who was specifically named as, mishandling all of that specific stuff very poorly.
Yep. Not just that either. if you go back just a little bit to maybe one BlizzCon or another, you can see him saying something very stupid or offering a non-apology. I think the free China subject was a pretty big one too. Yeah, he's got that look to where he's lying the whole time. At least that's the appearance for me. When he's offering up his justification of some topic that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, he is not a popular fellow.
No.
Yes. But yeah, there were literally only 2 people specifically named within the official lawsuit as well, and he was one of them, which just shows how much he was a part of the workplace being terrible and doing absolutely nothing to make it even vaguely okay to work in or exist in.
Mm-hmm.
We do now have 2 new co-heads. They've decided to split it up. A leadership team of Jen O'Neill and Mike Ibarra. I'm not sure if that's how to pronounce it.
That looks correct. Or sounds correct.
Yeah, let's hope so. But yes. The 2 of them are now going in. Hopefully, they'll do a better job.
Yeah.
I doubt they can do a worse job, honestly. So, that's a good thing.
Says they're more than 3 decades gaming experience between them, but they have only been part of Blizzard since 2019 and 2021. So,
honestly, sounds like a good thing to me. Considering why
any change is a good change.
Stepping down.
Yeah.
This is less so a case of these people aren't qualified. It's a bunch of the people are bad people who are ruining the lives of their employees.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is less an employment-based thing on, you did so well at your job, and more, you didn't ruin tons of people's lives.
Yeah. I'm just hoping the co-leadership doesn't lead to more, indecision type stuff, because that's going through 2 people rather than just a head. Hoping for the best. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Good things need to happen.
Yes. I'll say, on top of all this, there's been a ton of other backlash. Obviously, a bunch of people were boycotting Blizzard games, and I learned yesterday from someone who watches a lot of Blizzard YouTubers and streamers and stuff that a bunch of content creators are abandoning the company entirely and looking for other stuff to do. especially a bunch of big ones as well, just like, yeah, I'm not going to be playing any Blizzard games now for streams or for videos or whatever, and they're just trying different stuff. So it's a bit of a rats leaving a sinking ship scenario.
Yeah.
Where nobody wants to stick with Blizzard. Like, the company already had a lot of bad press. In fact, the person who told me about, like, the content creators leaving is Fredo, one of my moderators on my channel and stuff. And they'd deleted, like, their Blizzard account, I want to say, like, a month or so ago, because they'd already started feeling a bit bad about just having the account with the stuff that was up before any of this.
Yeah.
And when this came out, it's just all of a sudden like, oh, yeah. Oh,
that's me with the Ubisoft launcher, man.
Man.
even it was just $10 for Far Cry New Dawn. I was like, nah, still don't feel good.
Nope. Man, I don't even feel good. Like, I was half tempted at one point to go back and like reinstall a Far Cry game, and I was like, just thinking about it makes me feel a bit off.
Yeah, because now we have that association. We've learned too much. We've looked too far into the subreddits.
Yeah. Oh, this is it. When you know what's going on, you learn how terrible a lot of people are.
Dang it. Cypher had it right. Ignorance is bliss.
Yep.
Matrix reference for anybody. I know that's a what, 99? Is that 99? How old am I?
Everyone's seen The Matrix. I refuse to believe that there's anyone out there who's not seen The Matrix.
99.
I mean, he's talking about how good the steak is. That is an iconic scene.
It is.
In all of cinema.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Nobody can.
Sometimes it's just nice not to know some things. You can just enjoy stuff. Like these hackers in Titanfall, apparently.
Oh! Yeah. This was, I mean, on the scale of how bad things were, it's not as bad, but that's because the previous one was terrible. So there's been a bit of a complicated issue going on with Titanfall and Apex Legends recently. I can't remember if we ever talked about it, or if it was just a news topic I considered putting in a few times. Do you remember, Caedo, if we actually talked about the Titanfall packs before?
We might have. It rings a bell.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, so for a while, like, there's been hacking going on in the original Titanfall game. And then last month, there was a huge Apex Legends hack where there were like bot attacks and server breaking and other bits and bobs and stuff going on, or they were bringing attention with their hack of Apex Legends to the fact that original Titanfall was getting hacked and stuff. Because that's how you do it. And a site popped up called SaveTitanfall.com, and it insisted that it was not involved in the hacks, despite being mentioned, like, in the hacks and stuff. It's so complicated. This is such a weird thing.
It sounds like
this is so weird. Yeah. But I don't know how to talk about it. Sorry.
We could
It's
just
literally my topic in a bit short.
We could just talk about Epic bleeding money instead. If you want, or do you want to? You don't want to?
I mean, I want to talk about it, but it's such a weird thing, but it's hard to specifically mention. But yeah, okay. The TLDR of it all is that a bunch of people tried to ruin Apex Legends because the original Titanfall was being ruined. And then there's just tons of backlash to it, and people are... They then found out that some of the people who were hacking Titanfall were trying to fix Titanfall in order to kind of get hired by Respawn to remake a, like, free-to-play Titanfall game that was going to be, like, slightly different. It is absolute insanity where, like, a bunch of hackers who loved Titanfall, hated Titanfall, tried to revive a Titanfall game that never got fully made, which is a TFO. It got called Community Revival of a game called TFO, which is like Titanfall Online, basically. It's already an online game, but, you know. And yeah, people just tried to get themselves hired by hacking a company's game. And God, is it crazy. Where's the logic? God, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah. Hackers may be insane.
Yep.
Something else that's insane is the amount of money yes. that Epic is spending on anything.
Oh yes. This is insane, yet somehow makes more sense.
Yes.
So Epic has currently sunk $500 million into the Epic Games Store, and isn't currently expecting to make a profit until 2027.
Yep.
Over half a decade away before they expect to start making money.
Yep. They're playing the long game.
Wow. Yeah. So there's some quotes in here. Epic lost around $181 million on the Epic Games Store in 2019. Epic projected to lose around $273 million on Epic Games Store in 2020. And Epic projects to lose around $139 million in 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. That's so much money.
It is so much money. But this comes about mostly from the fact that they've been getting exclusives, which people are angry about.
Mm-hmm.
And they've also been giving away free games, which for some reason I've also seen people angry about.
That's a weird thing to get angry about.
That is. But when you're on the hate train, it only goes one way.
Yep.
You can't go side to side at all. But yeah. It's a bit crazy just how much money they're willing to bleed. But it's the standard kind of disruption principle that always goes about in tech. Where it's just like, oh, disrupt the market, get yourself as a proper brand that everyone goes to and stuff. And then, once all the consumers are there, start trying to make your money back.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we've said it before, but Epic does give free games away every week.
Yeah.
It's probably worthwhile getting the Epic launcher if you're on PC.
Yep. That's one of two examples as well. There's the Xbox Game Pass on PC as well now. That, they're losing money too. But it's all part of a long game to to get people to actually start using it and then, start working on the service itself. Or working on more monetary things in the service. Which I, don't know what to expect there, and I'm not too thrilled about talking about them making more money. But but as of right now, I know free games are great. I also know that games on day one for a quarter of their cost are also great. So, it's whatever, if you're on a budgetary constraint of any kind, Epic Game Store and Xbox Game Pass are like the best right now.
Yeah.
And I know some people still like Epic. That's fine. You can not like Epic, but free games.
I've got a ridiculous library of games in the Epic Game Store now.
Mm-hmm.
I can just download and play it anytime I want. And it's nice to have all those games and to not have to pay for them and still have the developers having got the money for them.
Yes.
It's really a no-loss scenario for me.
Yep. I still haven't touched the Batman Arkham games, but I think I have all three.
Same. I have so many games on the Epic library at this point. They just said like a Plague Tale Innocence, and I was like, oh, that's never a game I'd have bought, but you know what? I might end up playing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really nice.
I went ahead and grabbed that one too. It's pretty great. They were saying something in the article that this one's from PC Gamer, by the way, the Epic making a whole bunch of money thing. They were referring to the Epic versus Apple stuff as well.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact details on it. It was something about Apple requiring taking over the microtransactions that Epic was doing, or overcharging or something.
Yeah, Apple takes a very big cut
the bigger,
of the
that's
App
right.
Store stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas Epic didn't want that, and argues that the percentage they take is absolutely ridiculous.
They wanted it to be flat across the board.
Yeah, and the judge in here kind of said that the quote is, Epic Game Store is unprofitable and not comparable to the App Store, and will not be profitable for at least multiple years, if ever. That was not the judge, the lawyer, sorry. Just trying to talk about like the finances specifically to say like, oh, you can't compare Epic and Apple because Epic aren't raking in tons of cash. So obviously they're not comparable to Apple. Is kind of a current argument, which kind of like, you know what might help them with the legal case, but does make Apple seem like a villain.
Yes.
It's like not a good PR look for Apple so much, but honestly, how many people are paying attention to this?
That's true.
So I'm pretty sure Apple's just like, yeah, we can take the hit of a few nerds with a podcast based around Fallout.
I would guess if I were to throw a couple of groups of people out there, it would be Fortnite fans and people that are already in the Apple ecosystem.
Yeah.
So if you have an Apple phone and you have Fortnite on it, yeah, you might be double screwed. So there's that. But beyond that, I don't, it doesn't really apply to so much else.
Honestly, my hope with the lawsuit and all of that kind of stuff, I say even a lawsuit, I can't remember what the technical name is. My hope with the legal case is still that just Apple will reduce the cut it takes and that things will get a little bit cheaper on there. And that's it. That's my entire hope. I don't care if Epic gets any extra cash for it. I just would like to see slightly fairer pricing on the Apple Store.
Yeah.
Not that I ever use it. I'm just a fan of things not being ridiculously overpriced.
Yes. We're fans of corporate not taking a larger cut than they should.
Yeah. Well, when you're like a multi-billion-dollar company, it's like, do you really need to be making that much extra money? Like, why not have good people in charge who will actually spread out the money that's made and then kind of just, make things better for everyone and not take a huge cut and not screw people over? Because it's amazing, but it is still possible to make a ton of cash without screwing people. It's not as easy.
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at the next thing, okay. Trying to figure out what to segue with, but I have no idea.
Something about being in charge of a company and being in charge of mods. The people in charge of Nexus mods are also screwing over people? Sure. Is that a segue?
Yeah.
If I do an intonation like this on my voice, will it work?
Let's go with it. It's one of your worst, but do it.
It is one of my worst. Hey everyone listening. You know how CEOs and people at the top of businesses screw over their employees? Well, some of the people who submit Nexus mods feel like they're being screwed over by the people in charge of Nexus mods.
Yeah. Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a modder.
I'm not either.
Come on, Caedo. Everyone knows you mod constantly, all the time. This is why I put this in here. Caedo, the world famous person who only plays with mods.
That's right. I've uploaded so many mod videos. It's 2 of them.
Yep. Mod showcases every day, on the hour, every hour.
Okay, so another PC Gamer article. One of Skyrim's most popular modders is pulling his work from Nexus mods. Arthmore, the modder behind the Live Another Life, Open Cities, and other well-known mods, is protesting the site's policy changes. Here it also says, popular mod hosting site Nexus Mods announced recently that users who upload files will no longer be able to delete them. This is along with their new archiving system that they were trying to implement, so you could make collections of mods in Nexus Mod Manager and Nexus Site. So, say somebody could make a collection, it would include so many different mods in it, which would also I believe it would credit them properly, which has been a problem in the past because people do overall installers. But that would require the mods in question to be archived and preventing them from being deleted if the original mod author wanted to remove it for any reason. So that's the gist of what I'm getting here. So it's just really extra complicated stuff. And of course, because Nexus is a donation-driven site a lot of the time, especially with the mod authors and stuff like that, like that's how they get paid. It's as soon as money is thrown into the mix, and privacy is questioned, and the recent issues with a certain Fallout New Vegas mod that had some things in it that were not tasteful that needed to be taken down, stuff like that may become more of a problem if Nexus goes ahead with this without making some changes. But they've apparently been working on this collections idea for a very long time, like several years, and try to be methodical about it, but there's no way to be perfect, I don't think, with this kind of scenario, with how much traffic goes through Nexus and how many modders are present and have been from very early on. I don't know. I'm just rambling nonsensically at this point, but a way of protesting, I guess, for some mod authors is just removing their mods. And maybe making them available somewhere else on their own terms. Which
well, it does say that Arthmore's mods are still going to be available on AFK mods. It's a different site which I've never heard of before this article.
Yep.
But I'm sure some of the big modders in the audience may well have. Yeah. This is honestly, this doesn't sound like it's actually gonna stop anything that Nexus Mods is doing.
No, probably not.
It just seems like the people who really want to be able to delete their mods at any time will have already deleted their mods by the time this is out.
Yeah.
Because I think the deadline was August 5th. And this comes out on the 8th.
Yeah. So, for anybody who doesn't know or doesn't mod their games, this is like installing any Creation Club content. You just can't delete it.
Yep. It's not allowed to go.
Unless you delete your whole game.
Yep. Delete your whole game, then find the file, then delete that, then delete your game again, then unbuy the game, rebuy the game, reinstall it. Pretty sure that's how it works.
Yeah. Man, I would love a toggle one day.
Oh, it'd be so good. But I wouldn't expect that anytime soon. I swear the Creation Club is not being, like, updated. It got mentioned, like, in one of my streams the other day, and I think someone said it was, like, 7 months since, like, something happened with the Creation Club.
Really?
Or some ridiculous time like that. Like, maybe something has happened, but I know I've not noticed anything, but I also don't pay much attention to the Creation Club. So, yeah, I do wonder if the Creation Club is now basically, like, dead and gone, and they're just, like, keeping things on there so that people can still buy them and get a little bit of revenue ticking in.
Yeah.
But I honestly wouldn't be too surprised if it's something that didn't work out as profitable as they'd like, so they've just kind of not worried about it. And gone with weekly updates to the Atom Shop instead! Because that's something that's definitely making them some cash.
It is. Gosh dang it. I was going to bring it up if you didn't. That was... You know how that's has these natural evolutions from system to system? Yeah, that's the Creation Club to the Atom Shop. That's what that is. And I still don't like it.
I'm just waiting to see what they do with their next single-player game, which is Starfield. Like, how they monetize Starfield will be really interesting. Because there are good ways they could do it, but there's a lot of bad ones too.
Oh yeah. I just want this stuff with actual effort, like, an expansion or two. Just,
You mean like DLCs?
Yeah.
Oh, we can only hope.
Yeah.
We can only hope for Space Horse armor.
Yeah. Not like I talked about the Rage 2 thing on the last the last PIPCast.
Yeah, you took
the 8 minutes straight of skins and quest updates. That was so stupid.
Oh.
Such a waste of developers' time, too. My god.
Yeah. If you're someone who thinks that the modern devs at Bethesda are making all these mistakes, then do not fear, because there's some old devs who left Bethesda who have been working on a game called The Wayward Realms.
Oh.
Yeah. So, it's several years away, so don't get excited. So The Wayward Realms is a RPG. A single-player RPG.
No way.
Can you imagine such a thing?
I don't believe this. This is a lie.
What? No. Yeah. The article says, single-player RPG set in an open world consisting of over 100 islands, called the Archipelago. Sorry. Sorry, I just find it so funny because they're talking about a bunch of islands called the Archipelago, which is just like an actual name for a bunch of islands. But they phrased it in the article like this is some fancy title for them, when it's just like calling your town town.
like naming a part of your city the Bazaar, because it's the Bazaar.
I feel even that's better than this.
Oh, okay.
Bazaar's
or like a landmass.
Yeah. Welcome to Hill and Mountain.
Ah, yes, there we go.
The downriver of Stream.
Yep. Well, okay. I wishlisted it too. It's on Steam, by the way, for the.
Oh wait, is it actually?
It's showing on Steam.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. Okay, I'm gonna go to the Steam page.
It's because I saw the Twitter, the tweet that they put up in the article, and it was like somebody, Joseph Steckman, was like, "Hey, I added it to my wish list," and I was like, "Oh,
I'll say one.
I gotta do that
one
too.
Bad sign. I clicked on Steam and instantly forgot the name. Wayward Realms.
The Wayward Realms. Yes,
yeah. It's a very generic fantasy kind of name.
Fantasy, yes. Can be confused with Forgotten Realms or The Forgotten Realms, which is another thing.
But yes. Under the direction of Ted Peterson and Julian LaFay, lead developers of the team behind The Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall, Once Lost Games is creating a new open-world fantasy RPG. I don't know how RPG is pronounced, where choice, consequence, scope, and role-playing will be experienced like never before in a realistically scaled open world in a new class of game, the Grand RPG.
The Grand RPG.
I'm good. Yeah. I've ranted about this several times. RPG is a meaningless term now. And I think Grand RPG just goes to kind of signify that even more.
That's GRPG. That's totally different.
It's a group.
It's group. Group.
Group. I love me a good group to play in the evening. Oh, yes. This game looks like it has factions, quests, dungeons. One kind of interesting thing they do mention is a constantly evolving experience and story, where they say a virtual game master keeps things interesting for you, making other characters and their factions react and plot their next move based on your actions, resulting in no two players having the exact same game experience. World events have very different effects in the life of a socializing aristocrat, a thief entrenched in underworld conspiracies, a scholar collecting ancient artifacts, or whatever role you offer yourself. Obviously, as someone who makes like lots of different builds and characters and stuff, that part sounds cool.
Yeah.
How like you'll actually have a proper different experience apparently, depending on the type of character and stuff you play.
But we'll only know really how true that is when it comes out.
Yeah. We'll say the Steam page has like screenshots and stuff of it, and if you're imagining like something that looks as good or better than Skyrim or other open world games that came out within the past decade, I wouldn't get your hopes up too much. It doesn't look visually spectacular. There's some cool stuff here, but seeing as these are the screenshots to kind of show off the game, they aren't anything amazing. But honestly, that has my hopes up a bit more, because it probably means it's going to be a game more focused on the elements of like character building and the general world design and things like that.
Yeah, think more along the lines of a slightly more high def Morrowind. That's kind of what it looks like to me.
Modded Wind.
Modded Morrowind. That's what it looks like. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on it now for the future, because you know us, we like a good Caedo
and Sarge, Gurpagur channels for life.
That's right. And what's that word? I keep forgetting. What's that word? Oh, immersion.
Immersion.
I love me some immersion. So, let's look forward to whatever this is. It's not quite about elders, but there's a ring of Eldens that made an appearance on Steam as well.
Oh, I mean, this one's...
That's basically it.
This one isn't a Gurpagur, it's a Tharpagur.
Yeah.
Because it's a new fantasy action RPG.
Yes.
Because everything's an RPG. God, I hate RPGs.
Wow.
I genuinely have such disdain for the term RPG now.
Really?
Mostly because people are like, oh my god, this game isn't enough of an RPG, or I didn't like the RPG elements that were added, and it's meaningless.
Oh, like Fallout 4 is a good game, but not a good RPG.
Yep, I've decided it's not a good RPG, because someone else said it wasn't a good RPG. And what's an RPG? Well, it's a role-playing game. What role do I play? Wait, what does playing a role mean? Does it mean I'm a character? Aren't I a character in every game? Oh my god, is this meaningless drivel that I'm speaking? Ah!
Yep.
We genuinely need, like, more specific terms to be used in general dialogue when it comes to RPGs. Mm-hmm. Like, are you talking about skill trees? Are you talking about in-depth character writing? Are you talking about third-person gameplay in an open world? Because all of those things are being described as RPG elements before.
Yes.
And it's so dumb, and I hate everyone. All of you listening, I'm sorry, but I hate you all. I'm very bitter now. Term RPG has made me a grumpy old man.
Look what you did to Sarge. Look what you did.
Yeah. It's all your fault, Elden Ring, for also being an RPG, but basically being like a Souls-like game, which isn't something I inherently think of when the term RPG is put up. But let's face it, you're probably going to be a Souls-like game. It's from Software.
Yeah, it used to be
their games
called, like,
tend to be similar.
Called like hardcore action RPG or punishing don't play it action RPG.
Honestly, the term Souls-like is sometimes gets thrown around as like, oh, we shouldn't be using this term, it's too generic. But compared to RPG, it's incredibly descriptive.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. When somebody says Souls-like, I know exactly what kind of experience it's going to be.
Yeah,
I'm gonna want to throw my controller kind of experience. That's what
Yep.
that's what it's gonna be.
Genuinely good points to that.
Yeah.
The RPG. Someone tells you what an RPG is. Not a clue. Not a clue.
Unless you're talking about tabletop RPGs. We should plug that, by the way, because
yes,
even though
we might have been streaming yesterday,
we might.
You're too late by the time this has come out. Sorry, but it's your own fault.
Our co-host Jared of Jared Gaming, he's going to be hopefully streaming our D&D session that we're going to be having on Saturdays.
Yes.
At I totally forget what time. 5 p.m. Pacific. This is when we
1 a.m. Sarge time.
1 a.m. Sarge time. Yes.
You get the tired Sarge. After he's just recorded a podcast and then streamed for 4 hours and then goes straight into D&D.
No promises on what kind of complications are going to come up with that, because it's going to be 5 of us on a call, and Jared's going to be working with all the audio at once. So zero promises on how it's gonna go, but it was more just a fun idea. He was like, why don't we try recording it, try streaming it, see what happens. So
I'm down for it.
That's
we had
cool.
some cool moments. We've already done kind of our, what was it called, session 0.5?
Yes.
Yeah, where we did our first little adventure and all met each other, and Caedo and I awkwardly held hands for a second.
We did. Sarge was stealing was stealing money from the library, which we showed up at, and then I noticed this and went to go shake his hand immediately because the people who owned the library were still in the room, and I wanted to interrupt him, but instead we ended up weirdly holding hands, and then we both took one of the silver pieces.
Yeah,
which was pretty great.
It was a very strange series of events caused by both of our characters having unusual flaws.
Yes. Yeah, my character is not very good with the whole social cues thing.
And my character's a kleptomaniac who's not at all built for stealing things.
Yes. So it all worked out. We're a bit of a interesting crew.
Oh yeah. One of us has a torch on their face.
Oh yes. Yeah. And I am a punchmancer. Yeah. A monk. If anybody didn't know. You should know at this point. If there's a chance to play a punchy character, I'm gonna do it. You guys know me by now, I hope.
Yeah. And I had to pick one of many, many different characters I'd already come up with for me.
Yes.
Because that's my whole deal. Yeah. Right, our D&D session could have a lot of issues, but I can guarantee it won't have as many issues as Fallout 76 has had.
Good. Nice.
Caedo added this in while we were recording,
so
I just had to find this while he was talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a update to Fallout 76.
Yes.
On the 3rd. And it was fixes for so many different issues.
Yeah.
Because whenever an actual big update comes out, like Steel Rain, I want to say.
Yes.
Which was the most recent one.
Nailed it.
Cool. Wasn't broken power armor or Rain of Iron or anything crazy like that. Yeah, there was just a bunch of stuff that got kind of broken with it.
Yep.
Because that's what happens when the game gets updated.
Yep. And we must reiterate that Steel Rain itself was pretty good.
Yeah.
The server issues that came along with it, no.
No.
Very bad.
Yeah. The game is getting better and better, but it does have a bit of a cycle. I showed Caedo, like, right before the stream, the Steam charts page for Fallout 76. And it constantly has, like, a few months where the average numbers go up, and then a few months where the average numbers go down, and then a few months where the average numbers go up, and then we go down, and up and down, and up and down, and up and down. And it's that constantly, depending on, like, updates, bugs, if anything's happening at the moment, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And what's currently going on with 76 is it had a good update, then it had some issues. Now they're trying to patch out as many of the issues as they can, so it's going to be getting better. So if you haven't tried the update and you own the game, now might be a decent time to give it a try.
Yes.
But it also sounds like there's not going to be any more big updates for quite a while. So there's probably not going to be much 76 stuff happening.
Yeah. Except for, well, the expeditions to look forward to. But was that
next year?
Next year? Okay. Yeah, we got a while to wait.
Early next year. That's the next big thing. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can actually find the community calendar.
Yeah, come on, 76 man.
Stop paying attention to this.
I know.
Oh god, how do I even find it anymore? This isn't my job anymore, Caedo. I'm a Skyrim streamer now. Don't you understand?
You don't have all those bookmarks anymore, Sarge?
No. Wait, how do I do this? Oh, God, this is genuinely hard for me to work out. Well, that's 76. Overview? Yeah, I've got no idea. But somewhere there's a community calendar, which will tell you all the stuff that's gonna be happening in the future. But I don't know where it is. Oh, I thought I found one, but it was a community spotlight article. Nope. No, really just... Oh. Hold up. I found one that says community calendar. How long for? Hey, I found the community calendar. Nice. So we're in August now. There's sales. There's going to be Meat Week. Oh, QuakeCon happens the 19th to the 21st.
Oh.
I wasn't aware of it. For our next recording will take place directly after QuakeCon finishes. But I hope something happens there.
Yeah.
Because that'd be cool. Especially seeing as literally everything else for August and September for 76 is just, double score. Things are on sale. Mole Miner Treasure Hunters. Double XP weekend. There is nothing happening in 76. Like, genuinely nothing happening. I doubt I'll be playing 76 for, maybe at the end of the year something will happen.
Yeah, maybe. And I would have to go back to using a controller in 76. Don't know how I feel about that. It's already kind of a pain to control with mouse and keyboard. So, I don't know.
I mean, you don't need to go back to the game.
I don't. But I did make a cool Brotherhood Fortress thing last time I was on, or Brotherhood Camp, because I got the Armory prefab, because that was available. Didn't spend money. Don't you worry, nope. Listeners. I'm not being a complete hypocrite.
No, the game does give you atoms, and if you're not someone who feels the need to buy all of the stuff,
yeah, I'm not buying all the stuff.
It's quite easy to just get the old thing.
I'm usually just waiting for the next prefab. That's kind of what it's turned into, because I've also just lost patience with trying to build anything.
Yeah.
And instead just like, this would make a good workshop. Bam, just put all my workbenches in it. It's done. Don't have to mess with the foundations or walls or wallpaper or whatever. Just put a building on and then put stuff in it. With multi-camps too, it makes it nice.
I just don't build at all anymore in 76 or play the game.
For now.
But I will again at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Despite what some comments claim about me, I don't hate the game, and I'm also not a Bethesda shill. Turns out there is middle ground.
What? No.
I know. It's a crazy thing.
That's unrealistic.
Yep.
That's outside of the narrative that all fans are chill guys.
Yep. You're either on your knees in front of the company, or you're actively fighting them as a brave warrior going against some developers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, well, we've run that out. Speaking of Fallout, we have a topic for Fallout that we usually do each podcast.
We do.
And it was the one we pulled from Reddit, from the R Fallout subreddit, asking what is your personal strange quirk when playing Fallout. It said in Fallout, but it's implied when you're playing Fallout. What's that thing that you do that you don't think anybody else does? Again, shout out to Jester Rain with 2 eyes. Thank you for contributing before you even knew it. So, what's your personal strange thing that you do besides eating people?
I was gonna say that their quirk, the Jester person, was picking up teddy bears and just always keeping them around and stuff.
As an example.
Which, yeah, they've done that since Fallout 3. I will say I've actually seen a fair bit of that in 76. With people displaying teddy bears, that's become somewhat popular over the past year.
Yeah, now that displays are a thing.
Yeah. But with you mentioning the whole cannibalism thing, something that I don't like to do is become a cannibal. But it turns out my stream viewers absolutely love that stuff.
Yes.
And that's my stream's personal quirk, is demanding I eat people.
And possibly
all the time.
And possibly getting paid for it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, I don't tend to eat people unless I'm getting paid.
Yes.
It's not something I want to do. My personal strange quirk when playing Fallout is being a literal mercenary.
Yes.
And due to the fact that I'm a streamer, people will pay me to do things in the game, and I will do them. Such as the time Trashcan Carla got murdered, simply because I got paid money by you and Fredo, I believe. So I murdered an NPC who I really like. I really like Trashcan Carla, actually. Yeah. Lots of people are like, she's working for the Institute and stuff. Grah. But for me, my strange quirk of being a literal hitman at points led to her death.
Yes.
And in New Vegas, I got paid $100 to take the cannibal perk, which might be the most ridiculous thing about my job ever.
Yes.
That's a staggering amount of money to get a perk.
Too much. I didn't realize that's... I think I probably missed that stream, but that's a lot of money to...
That is. Well, it's because I didn't want to take the perk, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll only do it for $100. And I said that kind of as a joke. And then $100 was dropped.
Wow.
And I then ate 69 people in Fallout New Vegas.
Nice.
Yes, that's the first quirk I can go for. Caedo, have you got any specific quirkiness to you?
I think I found out something pretty cool. I'm gonna go back to the classic games because those aren't referenced probably very much in that topic. In Fallout 2, I do go out of my way to get all of the companions, and there's like 14 of them. Obviously, you can't have all 14 with you at once without modding the game, which I don't do.
Yeah.
You can have like a maximum of 5 if you have a full, like, maxed out charisma.
Okay.
But what I did, I think last time I played, or maybe a time before, is when you set items down, they have like an icon in the game where you can like see them actually on the ground. And so I had gathered so many pieces of gold ore from like redding and running into prospectors and stuff like that, just for the heck of it. And I made like runway lights almost in San Fran, and then I put all my party members inside of it. So it looked like they were all, you know, like this was the main hangout for all the companions kind of thing. That I don't think anybody else really does that. I did see a similar screenshot of somebody putting all their companions in San Fran, but not with the cool, you know, gold nuggets going around all the companions. It's a weird thing that I do, but I liked it. Also, you can have upwards of 3 dog companions.
Yeah.
And in Fallout 2, which is the most dogs you can get in any of the Fallout games.
That is a positive point for Fallout 2.
Could be a leader of the pack,
that.
For sure.
Yeah.
They're still pretty squishy when it comes to, you know, any explosives. And, I mean, if you bring anybody to an Enclave patrol, somebody's probably going to die, so there's that.
Or Fallout 2 dogs.
Agoras is a character too. He's pretty cool. He's the talking Deathclaw companion.
Oh, okay. I honestly had never even thought about what that character's name would be.
Yes.
I was aware of a talking Deathclaw and all of that, and I'd never thought to ask their name.
Goris the Grey Deathclaw. Yeah. He wears a...
And at some point, I'm actually going to have to play through all of Fallout 2. And all of Fallout 1.
Someday. You gotta stream it?
But not for a while. That's genuinely my plan. My plan is when I get enough viewers that are watching just kind of for me, so not specifically for the games, I want to go through like the classic Fallout games, but I feel like I need a decent audience that's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And my channel's not quite at that point yet.
Makes sense.
I've got a couple of other strange quirks. I don't think they're too crazy. Like the first one in particular, I don't know exactly how to categorize it, but I do tend to play fast. Like, I'm not a speedrunner, but, I mean, Caedo can testify, as he's played video games with me, but I have a tendency to kind of zoom through things quite quickly.
You're very efficient.
And, yeah, other people don't keep up to pace with me. I love efficiency. I just get through things incredibly quickly. And playing fast... It doesn't sound like a strange quirk, but I genuinely have never met anyone who plays video games quite like I do. Because I'm not someone who will, like, glitch things and try to get, like, the fastest time or rush through everything perfectly and stuff. But I can't be just stuck around in a place and casually get on with things. I have to, like, get to that location really quickly. I have to take the optimal route. I have to, like, do things very quickly. I have to get through the menus fast. I cannot play the Fallout games, like, slowly. I was about to say I'm always on speed. That sounds kind of bad. I'm always on, like, fast mode.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how I'm playing. I can't just take my time to relax. Which is a bit of a quirk, I suppose. But also is completely contradictory to another thing I like to do in Fallout games, which is be a wasteland photographer.
Yes.
Which, there are some people out there who do that as well. But they all suck compared to me.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. And none of you can prove you're better. I bet none of you will DM me on Twitter at BADCompanySarge with amazing and grand photos that you've taken inside of Fallout. I bet none of you can do it, and none of them will be as good as my photos I take. Yeah, calling you out,
challenge
everyone.
Presented.
Yeah, I like taking photo mode pictures. Obviously, the games before Fallout 76 didn't have a photo mode, but, like, they do have console commands.
They do.
Some of them. And I do have NVIDIA Ansel, which is a surprisingly good photo mode.
Yes.
For just something that happens if you have an NVIDIA graphics card.
Yep. I never have it active because I just tend to, if I want to do anything else, I just do it in, like, photo editing stuff. But haven't really needed to most times.
I don't tend to edit my photos very much. Like, I spend my time, like, in camera doing the editing and the framing and all of that. And I generally don't change things too much. I mean, exception of my most recent Patreon wallpapers where I gave quotes to characters. But for the most part, I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna get, like, a pretty little picture. I'm actually scrolling through my folders now to see if I can find any. I don't have many good ones saved at the moment. Fallout 4, I need to get better photos in Fallout 4. I really need to. Fallout 3, quite annoyingly, I tried to get a bunch of photos in that, but it kept crashing my game after I got the first one. The first one I got was quite funny. It's a super mutant in Project Purity, where the super mutant corpse has its, like, neck stuck to the wall. Its head has been blown off, but it looks like it's just hanging with its head on the, like, top of the ceiling kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's quite a beautiful little photo. But, yeah.
Okay.
Whenever I see something particularly pretty in a Fallout game, I do like to just... I'll tend to save the game at the point, and then just kind of go into the console and frame it up perfectly and get a really nice photo. And it's something I want to do more of. I even want to do, like, a stream series of it at some point in, not in a Fallout game, but in a Cyberpunk.
Ah.
Because I want to go back to that game at some point in the future, probably when, like, a DLC or something drops. And I figured that to make it a bit more interesting, I'd probably, like, roleplay as a photographer. Because, honestly, I think Cyberpunk has a lot of problems. The bugs are the ones that people normally bring up. But I also think the quest design, the characters, and just the general structure isn't that good. And I don't get on well with that. Mm-hmm. But I do like the actual gameplay and the mechanics and the visuals of it. So I figured being a photographer in this dangerous world would be an interesting way to go through.
Yeah.
So I'm taking my quirk outside of Fallout and putting it into every game I possibly can.
I was gonna say I couldn't find it though. I was gonna say that I recreated the Fallout 1 menu with Fallout 4 screenshots at some point.
I half remember that.
Which was a lot of fun to do, but I never used it. I wanted to use it as some sort of cool intro for the Fallout 1 playthrough, but I never did. Because that's around the time where I was like, I don't know if I should be doing intros anymore, because, the dubstep intros kind of killed it for everyone.
Text spinning around on a red background,
yeah,
pulsing with the beats.
3D text exploding and chattering and all that nonsense. Yeah, if you wonder why, newer videos don't have intros, it's because of those. It's because of those 30-second long loud music intros that they don't do it anymore.
Man, unfortunately I thought about another quirk, I suppose,
okay,
which comes from content creation when you were talking about that, but my not realism Rowan, oh wow, I forgot my name, roguelike Fallout 4 roguelike is a very strange thing I did with Fallout 4 to make it into a roguelike sort of game with a challenge run. And that is definitely a strange quirk, because I don't really know anyone who decides that in Fallout 4 they're going to make a character build cinematic challenge run series.
Yeah.
That's far too specific.
It is. It is. And a lot of work.
But it was great. I am still so proud of that.
You should be.
Like, genuinely. Anyone who's not watched my content or has, like, popped on my channel and been like, I'm not a big fan of this. Yeah, give Fallout 4 roguelike a watch. It is genuinely some of the best work I have ever made. And even if you think I'm a prick, you might still enjoy it.
Whoa.
Is the P word allowed?
It's fine. It's fine. Okay. I'll probably forget.
Sorry, I genuinely wasn't sure for a second there if that's like one of the words that's okay over here that isn't in America.
Yeah, I just don't hear it very often.
It's a solid one. I like it.
Yeah.
It's not overused, I find, but it kind of conveys the right emotion without being like too harsh.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of curse words.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Study them in depth.
What an interesting quirk. Okay, so I have one, and it ended up turning into a actual video that I did, a video that did surprisingly well, which is the level 1 implant rush guide that I did.
Oh, okay.
So I was trying to figure out the most efficient way to get to the New Vegas strip in Fallout New Vegas without leveling up. So by the time I got there, and by the time I had gotten enough caps, while still maintaining level 1, I could go to Doc Usanagi's and get the implant, the intelligence implant, and get the maximum possible skill points per level. And that itself, being a weird quirk, turned into a video. And it ended up being this weird mapping process where I was like, well, okay, so the options are A, quarry, B, just go north. And, like, the most efficient, of course, since I'm one for efficiency as well, I was going to be like, well, let's see if we can go for north and not get, totally murdered by all the cazadors that were put there on purpose. So, and I found out that the stealth boy in the schoolhouse in Good Springs always spawns in the safe there.
Yeah.
So you can grab that stealth boy. I think if you've tagged stealth as well, I may be like screwing up some details because I haven't actually watched my guide in a while.
Tag sneak, high agility, perhaps.
Something like that. But if you're able to do that, grab the stealth boy, and then head towards like hugging the hills and stuff like that, like going right in between the cazadors and the Deathclaws. Like you can pretty easily, after you get past that point and get to like Samson rock crushing plant, you can go straight to McCarran, go into the cistern right in front of it, and then take some of the sewer tunnels, kind of beeline right to outside of Doc Usanagi's. So I don't know. I thought that was a really cool thing, but I do get a lot of comments from people being like, well, you don't need to go through the sewers, or you don't need to, go to all these different shops to sell stuff. And it's more along the lines of still maintaining level 1, because I'm still pretty sure that if you take the Good Spring Snow Globe to Mr. House, you'll level up. I'm pretty sure.
I can't imagine you.
So, like that's one of the things where I was so strict on that part. Like that's where my single-minded focus was. It wasn't even for the implant itself. It was just not leveling up and managing to make it to Freeside, managing to scrounge up like 3,000 caps. Was it 3,000 or 5,000?
I can't remember.
Which is easy with the Silver Rush.
Been over a month.
With the Silver Rush bathroom thing. And then selling stuff to as many merchants as you can find in that small chunk of area you've explored. And then having the rest of the game basically available from level 1. So Yeah, that's one of my weird quirks. Now, whenever I play New Vegas, I can't not do that.
Yeah.
Now that I know the most efficient way that I could find to do it.
I feel like that's something that probably at the time when you first did it was a lot more rare, but partially due to you having made the video and tons of other people having done it online. I feel like now, like, in both Fallout 3 and New Vegas, the rush for the intelligence boost is, like, quite a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people end up doing at this point. Because it's just like, why would you not play the game with max intelligence right at the start? Come on!
Yeah. You've gotta.
Yeah. Literally no other way to play.
Oh, that's one of the ones in Fallout 3 as well. I have to check and double check to make sure that the luck gear that the luck gear that I plan to get isn't giving me too much luck, isn't giving me luck above 10 by the end.
Okay. Because
you can get like a bonus of, was it a bonus of like 4 or 5 luck? Because it's the Lucky Shades, 3 Dogs Head Wrap, the Lucky 8 Ball, and the Luck Bobblehead, so that's at least 4. And the Ranger Battle Armor. Yeah, you can get like 5 if you wear that whole outfit and have those items. So that's one of the weird quirks I do too, is luck is good for any build in Fallout 3, so I usually go for that. There is a way to not kill 3 Dog if you don't want to do that. You just get an Enclave helmet and then reverse pickpocket it onto him. And then leave and come back and he'll have his head wrap in his inventory. But I think that's a weird one that not everybody does.
Yeah. But with you talking about that whole subject there with doing it in this specific way and stuff, I think a bit of a quirk I've got, which it sounds like you might have a little bit of as well, is playing Fallout in a very kind of strict fashion. Because, I mean, we talked about mods earlier and how neither of us really mod. I'm pretty sure we don't go for glitches and exploits and stuff like that for the most part either.
Yeah. But it's partially due to
all of those
things. I think it's partially due to our jobs, I guess. Too. Yeah. Like me, and I'm sure you're the same, like you want to keep the game recognizable too if you're talking about it and commentating over it and stuff like that.
You don't want to accidentally make a guide where the entire purpose of the guide and the clickbait title turns out to be just that you installed a mod which gave you the item.
Oh yeah, which happens all the time.
Don't want that to accidentally happen, and definitely not be made on purpose to just be an engaging title.
Yeah, like those who correct me on the Jayhawk pistol or the Jayhawk revolver in Fallout 3. It's a cut gun. It's always been a cut gun, by the way. And it's added with the unofficial patch. Pro tip.
I've been having Skyrim recently. A lot of people were like, are you going to get Inigo? I don't know if that's how their name is pronounced. Have you got Inigo as a follower yet? Are you getting Inigo? It's like a modded follower. It's a very popular modded follower, but it's like, hey guys, it's not in the game for me.
Just because it's a popular mod still doesn't mean that we're going to be using it. But that's okay. We play vanilla for various reasons. For me, it's primarily just for, keeping things recognizable. I'd rather not have to turn off and on everything every single time if I'm playing on my own or playing to record. So I just don't bother.
I'd rather just not have to turn it on at all.
Yeah.
I skip all the steps.
Yeah.
I just click play and then my game starts. It's crazy.
And then God forbid something doesn't go right. Like, you have to troubleshoot it to actually play your game, and you're, 2 hours into troubleshooting, leaving an hour to play?
Oh my, yeah.
Hate it.
The troubleshooting for me in my games is always so small. Like, my Skyrim run has been breaking with my companions on my streams.
IL is so dumb.
But it's still a case of I've been able to fix every single break within the game to an extent. Just because it's like, well, I already know the variables. I've not got any unknown elements. I can figure this out. Because, as my stream title said a couple of days ago, I am very smart. So, I know how to fix the companions.
Yes. Sarge is super smart. He's the big brain.
I'm the big brain streamer. Right. I'm not really sure if there's many more quirks I've got. Have you got any?
I think I always nuke Megaton, but that's not an unusual thing for players. You get like 2 choices.
Oh,
so
quirk for Caedo. He's a terrible person. Sorry, I forgot this. Yeah, Caedo hates dog meat, and apparently he nukes Moira too.
Oh
wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I guess that makes me a terrible person.
Yeah.
Does that count as a fallout quirk?
Caedo's wrong.
I just don't take dog meat.
Yes. I mean, it's not that you don't take dog meat. It's one thing to be like, oh, I'm not going to travel around with dog meat. It's another to put him in the thumbnail of the top 10 worst Fallout 4 people ever to exist, and I hate them all.
That's the closest to clickbait I get, man. And it's still in the video.
Man, dog meat is great.
Sure. Check out my worst NPCs list. Someday I'll do a best one. Someday. I'm doing the Games for Fallout Fans Part 2 still. It's taking me a bit longer because editing with my left arm is not easy.
Are you on to the editing stage right now?
I've got a little bit of writing and commentary left to do on like 3 entries. I've got to record some gameplay, but after that point, yeah, it's gonna be starting to get put together. I think one of the last 2 games is explicitly mouse and keyboard, so I have to make sure it's on a good day when I record it. So, and so far hasn't been much of a good day lately. So, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The longer it takes on some of these videos, the better they are, it seems like. So I've kind of just come to terms with that. Because Kite assures me that the Games for Fallout Fans, the first one they did, is one of the best videos I've ever made. And even though I don't personally see it, because obviously when you're the creator of something, especially if you've taken so much time, you're just like, I mean, I did it. Yeah. I'm at the point to where I've decided that I've done it, and it's ready to be uploaded. I don't know if it's good or not. It's good to get that reassurance from my support system. Oh, what's it? Oh, I had one more quirk for New Vegas specifically. That's really weird, and I don't think anybody else does it. But especially in the Prim area, when I first start Fallout New Vegas, after I do the intelligence implant rush and stuff like that, I do go back to Good Springs and do the normal progression.
All right.
I go to Prim, and then as soon as we go into the Bison Steve, after killing everyone, I loot every single thing, everything, and then put it all in the trash can outside of the building.
Okay.
And I do that at just about every location until the RepCon site, and then I get bored of doing that. but then I'm fighting with myself about consistency, and I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore, but I have to, and then I stop playing.
See, I just tend to go with the 10 value to weight ratio thing, which I don't know if that's a quirk, but is that a standard thing? Like, the value of the item should be at least 10 times the weight of the item? Is that...
That could be a quirk.
Like, commonly known?
I don't really keep track that way, so...
See, I always do it like that. I just go, like, if a item has a weight of 1, it needs a value of 10 for me to pick it up.
Oh, yeah.
Unless, of course, it's literally something you're going to use.
Yeah. Because it's more like with the DLCs and stuff like that, new things to recycle specific junk items and whatnot, and not wanting to have to go through different areas again to just find these things. So it's more for crafting purposes for me than anything.
Okay. I don't tend to do much crafting in free in New Vegas.
Yeah. Man, I love
the crafting system in those games.
I like crafting in New Vegas. The food items are fun.
It's a bit of a pain. It's just a bit of a
survival skill. The one game with the survival skill.
Yeah, I do actual survival in the one good survival mode that was ever in a Fallout game.
That's true.
Fallout 4 survival mode.
That's true. I fully agree with you on that one, Sarge.
Ignore New Vegas and 76, both of which can't do survival properly. Yeah.
Wow.
That's right. I'm insulting your favourite and least favourite game audience. What you gonna do? Oh, you're conflicted now. Should we side with him because he's insulted 76? Should we hate him because he insulted New Vegas? Ah!
Now we're stuck in the middle.
I'm just building up a fake audience at the store. I do apologize.
You're fine, dude. Yeah, hardcore mode in New Vegas isn't too bad. It's just additional stuff to keep track of while you're playing, and it is pretty enjoyable because it makes you pay attention to other inventory items, like food and drink and whatnot. And also, I think New Vegas is the only one where the sodas dehydrate you instead of hydrate you.
Yeah,
which is pretty great.
Honestly, I'm not a big fan of that.
I'm not either, actually, because as I think it's
you just said, "Oh, that's pretty
great." I think it's cool in New Vegas, but when I compare it to real life, where I had drank Mountain Dew nonstop for years on end and didn't die of dehydration, that it's not realistic.
I mean, it would have made sense for it to hydrate you less, but having it take away your hydration is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally drinking a Pepsi now. It would be so weird if, as I was drinking it, I was just, like, slowly passing out. Because it was just robbing what water was in my system.
Yeah.
It's not how it actually works.
We're not eating spoonfuls of salt. There's actual liquid in the...
Not yet.
Not yet.
Hey, I've got to make myself a quick meal after this, alright? Don't judge me.
I don't think anything else.
More?
Killing the fiends, specifically for money.
Okay.
And good karma. Because that rate at which I pick up everything, especially in Good Springs and whatnot, counts as stealing. I am very evil by the time I walk out of Good Springs.
Yeah, but not for long.
Not for long.
It's New
You're
Vegas.
Right. That's right. So then when I make it to the Vault 3 area and I'm able to take out the fiends, oh yeah, and you can herd all of them to that which side is it on? The eastern entrance? That's kind of enclosed.
Maybe.
You can herd all of the fiends to that spot and kill them all there, and they will respawn the exact same spot.
Oh, okay.
So,
man, spawn camping. Come on, Caedo.
Yeah.
Should be better than this.
And then
what are you, a old school Destiny 1 player or a Call of Duty multiplayer deathmatch on one of the small maps person? Come on.
I haven't played much Duty. I played Blops Zombies a little bit, but that's about it. Anyway, that's pretty much all my quirks, I think.
Okay.
Fiends drop energy weapons was the point I was trying to get across.
Okay. That was the point you were going for?
Fiends drop energy weapons, and they're also easy to farm for karma and stuff. So, I go to the Vault 3 area, herd them all into that little spot, bust out Mercy, and blow them all up.
Ooh. With you mentioning the energy weapons, I'm not sure how much of a quirk it is, but I am one of the most penny-pinching people in existence, I think.
Yes.
In everything.
We all know this.
But as well in Fallout games. Which means in New Vegas, if I build an energy weapons character, I'll use, like, the recharger rifle instead of anything else until, like, right at the end game.
Oh, man.
Because then I'm not using up ammo. And I'm like, well, I have to save all my ammo.
That's funny.
Why would I spend ammo when I could save ammo instead? I have that mentality constantly. And anyone who watches me play games will see that I just stock up on everything for as long as I can. And I really struggle to expend anything, be it potions, ammunition types, currency, hit points. That's another thing as well. I pick up the perks in games that regenerate your hit points rather than you having to, like, use an item. Because I'm like, why would I use an item when I could get a perk that'll just regenerate it over time for me? Even if it takes like half an hour, I can just sit in this corner for half an hour rather than use one stim pack. Then I save a stim pack, and it only costs me half an hour of my precious life, which I only get one of. I'm a genius!
If there's a way to get something easier and not use it, that's what Sarge is gonna do. Yep.
I get so much stuff, and I'll never use any of it.
I remember getting on your case when we were playing Monster Hunter World as well, for not using items. And instead...
always using normal ammo 1.
Instead, I just used friendship jewels to heal you instead. So you didn't have to use them at all.
I also wouldn't buy meals before going on hunts.
Yes. Yep.
I've uninstalled that game now. My character has so much stuff in their inventory because I never spent any of it.
It's great.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's it for the
more
quirks.
than enough quirks. Yeah. If anyone out there has any quirks that are not the stuff that we said, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised how many quirks we have actually.
Yeah. I mean, because it's normal to us, it doesn't seem, we don't really question it until we're asked, kind of thing, or until we find something that's just like, maybe it is kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, I have found with streaming all the time now, Monday to Saturday, 8 PM till midnight UK time, that there's a lot of people that are like, jump in. With Skyrim, the big thing recently has been like, have you done this quest yet? Why haven't you done this quest? Why haven't you done this quest? Where people are like expecting me to have got dragons on the map. That's a big thing. I don't get dragons.
Oh, heck no, dude.
Early on in Skyrim.
You know how much more annoying the game
gets?
gets?
Are like, come on. Yeah. It's like I'm doing 100% run of the game. I want to put off dragons as long as possible.
What, dragons interrupting every 10 minutes? No.
No. Stuff like that, and people like, oh, why haven't you done the Dark Brotherhood yet? Don't you do the Dark Brotherhood right at the start? I'm like, no, I didn't do Dark Brotherhood straight away. Or in Fallout, like, oh, why haven't you done this quest with this faction? Why haven't you run to this place? Why aren't you in Far Harbor yet? You're already level 2, come on. There's so many things where it's like people have a very specific way of playing, and they're always dumbfounded that someone else is not playing the game exactly how they do.
Yeah, obviously the only way to play Fallout 4 is to get the deliver immediately, all the time.
I mean, you're joking about that. I am. But anyone who's seen my one gun run knows that is genuinely the best way to play the game. Survival permadeath, only deliverer.
Yeah.
Easy, no challenge at all.
Such a busted gun.
Oh, it's so good.
Lowest AP cost of any gun too, I think.
Yeah, you get so many shots in VATS. And you don't even need to use it in VATS because its fire rate is ridiculous too.
Yep.
And its accuracy is like pinpoint perfect. And its damage number is actually good for a pistol.
Yep.
It's got no downsides.
If only there were more unique weapons in Fallout 4.
Yeah. If only the legendary system had never been invented.
True. Dude, let me put that down as a topic.
Oh, really?
If only legendary weren't existing. It's weird when I can't see what I'm typing. Okay. So I have all possible topics blacked out. The people who are listening don't see this, but all the possible topics are blacked out besides the one we're talking about. Like redacted kind of thing.
Yep.
But yeah, I typed without seeing it. That was fun.
You did. You only spelt 2 words.
That's
wrong.
fine. I'll still get the gist of what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it's fine. There are only 5 words, so you got over half of them right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, speaking of topics, if anyone does have a Fallout topic they wish that we discuss and are like, God, why haven't you guys talked about this thing yet? Leave it in the comments. But besides recording this podcast, what else you been doing, Caedo?
Oh, I've been watching a lot of Netflix, to be honest, due to my
honestly,
due to my shoulder being stupid and being told by the doctors, just be careful, take it easy and stuff like that. And man, I hate that. I hate being told not to do the thing I like doing. as that goes for anybody, I'm sure. It's not exclusive to me. Like, if you're told to stop doing the things that you've been doing for years, and then you just gotta sit there and exist and watch Castlevania and Dragon's Dogma all the way through, and still be like, man, I wish I was doing something else. That's where I'm at. That's where my head's at. Okay. But I did get Chernobylite. It was the new first-person RPG, horror, post-apocalyptic RPG that came out. Played it all the way through despite my own issues with horror as a genre and not being very good with it, because it was that good. And it's definitely going on the Games for Fallout Fans Part 2. You can expect to hear more about it on that. Dolls are freaky, man. I don't like dolls in video games, especially when they look at you and then change facing when you look away from them. Not a fan. They put that in on purpose. Anyway, yeah, Chernobylite, and been playing quite a bit of Fortnite Save the World. Been getting a kick out of that again, and it's easy enough to play with a controller, so yeah, been enjoying that. Also, on the Battle Royale side, the Ariana Grande concert is going on this weekend, and I got to catch yesterday's. Oh, okay. Yeah, it goes on for about an hour. It's more of a like mashup interactive type thing, but it's spectacular in how it looks, and just imagine just being in a music video that's all bubbly and colorful and stuff like that, and having different like mechanics. I don't know how to explain it really. It's fun. Okay. That's about it. If you have Fortnite installed and you have the time to catch the concert, I'd say do it. But then again, the last one may be the day this goes up. Oh, yes. Okay. So whatever, ignore me. It was fun. Watch it back if you want to. I think GameSpot has it up if you just want to see it and see what I'm talking about, because it is pretty crazy. I'm not even an Ariana Grande fan, but it was still a lot of fun. So that's good. Yeah. That's pretty much it for what I've been doing and complaining. What about you, Sarge?
Well, with you mentioning Netflix, I actually want to give a quick recommendation to a show called Beyond Evil, which I've been binging over the past few days, which is a crime thriller show. It's a Korean show, and it is incredible. I am halfway through it, and I've hit like episode 8, and it's 16 episodes long, and I feel like the show could end now, and I'm unsure of if I should go back to it. Mostly because the show it reminds me most of is Death Note, the anime. Oh. Yeah, if you like Death Note, I think you'll enjoy this show. This is not an anime, but I don't want to spoil anything as well if you do watch it, because it's all about twists and turns, and it's a whole mystery and kind of a whodunit, and it's genius. One of the weird things is that probably the best part about the show is the dialogue between characters, but obviously the show's in Korean, and I do not speak Korean, so it's all in subtitles for me. And yet the dialogue is still absolutely incredible. Oh. And the performances are amazing. It is shot perfectly. The whole setup and the way it goes. Each episode's an hour long. So I've watched 8 hours of this show so far. And there has not been a single shot where I'm like, oh, that's really bad. There's not been a performance where I was like, oh, that performance is terrible. I've been having like actual emotional responses to all of the characters. There was a funeral scene in a recent episode, and I wanted to cry. This show is amazing. Wow. It is on Netflix UK and US. Highly recommend everyone give it a watch. It is better than all the games I've been playing recently. What? Including, like, Skyrim, which I've been streaming. If you didn't hear me earlier, I stream Skyrim Monday to Saturday on my channel. I'm doing 100% playthrough of it.
Too much.
And obviously you can't... Yeah, too much Skyrim, quite frankly. I've done the Mage's College, the Companions, a bunch of Daedric artifacts. On the stream I'm doing after this recording, I'll be starting the Civil War, and chat will be deciding who I side with.
In this 100% playthrough, are you getting all the shouts too?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, probably be getting all the shouts until I'll be killing ton of dragons. I'm basically getting through like all the achievements I haven't got, which is quite a few. I have 69% of the achievements.
That's all you need.
Yeah, so far. But I want 100% achievement Skyrim and Fallout 4, because they're like the two biggest games on my channel, apart from 76, which doesn't have achievements, I don't think. Maybe it does on Steam, but I've got it on the launcher. But yeah, I basically wanted to do that. So for Skyrim, I'm doing a 100% playthrough, where I'm just doing as much as you basically can in Skyrim. I want to do all of the main quests that it's possible to do. The only things I can't do is when it's like, oh, join this faction or that faction, i.e. like Dawn God DLC. But yeah, I'm doing all of that. But outside of that, I've also been playing some other games so that I don't go completely insane and OD on Skyrim. I beat Nier Automata, like actually beat it, as in like got the
like ending
D
or whatever.
Yeah, I think so. Man, there's I googled it to check, and there's an ending for every letter of the alphabet. However, like F through Z are all just different ways you die, basically.
Yeah, that's funny.
They're all like joke endings, which I only got like 4 of, I think.
Did you take out your CPU?
But yeah. No, I didn't do that one. I did eat some fish, though. I did the fish eating one, knowing that it would kill me. I was like, yeah, I want to do this. There's also one point where I literally just walked slightly in the wrong direction with a character, and it was like, 9S, abandon the machines forever. And it just game over. And I was like, oh, I was supposed to turn right, not left. I see.
That's funny.
Yeah. But no, I got to the point in the game where you get chapter selects and stuff.
Cool, man.
And I haven't uninstalled it yet, because I was kind of like, oh, well, will I want to maybe go back and 100% it or something? Because it tells you how many quests you got to do and stuff. And a lot of quests you get locked out on after story beats happen. So I was like halfway through doing things for a bunch of NPCs when suddenly they all died.
Yeah.
Which happens a bit often in Nier Automata.
It does, yes.
Spoilers. Yeah. But expect everyone to die. Do not form emotional bonds
to them. This is everything in the series of Nier and Drakengard games. People are just dying all the time. That's if you like an NPC, they're probably going to die.
Yeah.
Very.
I'm genuinely not sure at the end of the game if anyone's alive. I'm just like, I might be dead. All of the friendly people might be dead. The bad guys might be dead. I'm not certain. But yeah, I've been playing a bit of that. I also played a game which you played a bit of, and Jared played a bit of as well, Death Trash.
Yes.
Which just released. And I enjoyed. It's not an incredible game, but it's like a little indie title where it's all pixely and you run around in like a post-apocalypse future where there's a giant flesh kraken just chilling outside a base and you can puke. There's a button for puking.
I don't like puking on command. I'm not.
No, I'm not a huge fan of that either. Yeah, I made a video on it because I believe both of us got sent keys for it. And I did title my video "The Most Disgusting Game I've Ever Played."
Yeah, I got a demo key as well as the proper game key, but it's early access, which is strange to me. So they put out a demo for the early access version of the game.
Yes.
So a demo of a demo, basically, which I just want to play a full game after playing a demo, honestly.
Okay, now I got the early access Steam key. I had to double check that because honestly I only played for like half an hour.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's at 0.71 or 0.7.1, so it's not even 1.0 yet.
No.
I don't know, that's a very strange release to me for a game.
It is a bit of a strange one.
But
yeah, that released a few days ago.
Yeah.
And is it being positively reviewed? I mean, I've not really seen much about it, honestly.
I guess a lot of big YouTubers have been covering it. Many a True Nerd did. I don't know what his take on it is.
Okay, yeah, all reviews very positive. 96% of the 292 user reviews of this game are positive.
Okay.
That's a high number. Yeah, I'd seen Tony Mo talk about it on Twitter a bit and all of that.
We should mention his connection to us, to our
Yes.
We both mutually knew Tony Mo before we knew each other. That's one thing.
I didn't actually know Tony.
You didn't know?
I was just a fan of Tony's content.
Right.
Yeah. I only met him through
We're mutually connected through Tony Mo.
Yeah.
And the first version of the PIPCAST was done with him, between him and I. And
I also don't know how I managed not to know about that PIPCAST before speaking to, like, both of you as people.
Yeah. Well, you know, as with this one as well, it's not, you know, super popular content. So, more just for hanging out and talking about stuff and video games.
Yeah.
And how much we hate them.
Yeah, they all suck. Yep. Watch Beyond Evil instead. Genuinely what I've been doing. But, I will say one video game I've had fun with, which I always do. Total War Warhammer 2. Been playing it in my spare time. Been playing it with a friend. It's a fun game. 10 out of 10 on Sarge Plays It scale.
Yes.
And that's it.
That's what your third channel's going to be, huh?
No, my third channel's going to be like a commentary channel. I've decided.
Okay.
All I need is enough money to buy a camera without losing any money, which I don't think is financially possible.
Just make some more connections in the video space and be like, hey, you got a decent camera you don't want? And then do like a trade or something.
I mean, to be fair, I've got a mate who may have a decent camera, but I've not spoken to them in a while. And I doubt I could give them anything they'd want in return.
Dang. Oh well. Just an idea. Lots of things we've been playing and working on. What about you, listeners? What have you been playing / working on / watching / going outside for?
I've got outside.
I know. And all of the sources of the things we talked about are down in the description. At least they should be, if I remember. Because I gotta copy and paste everything and put the little. Let me do a little side rant really quick. In descriptions, you can't put bullets in. You have to manually put in the bullet thing every single time. It doesn't just automatically do bullets, and it's infuriating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You have to like type it.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
I have to paste in the bullets for the lists.
Can't you just copy and paste it all as
one thing?
Yeah,
I do, but it's a pain. I'd rather just do it as a formatting option.
Okay.
I can't copy it straight from the document to the description. I have to copy it to a notepad and then copy the bullet points from another description where I had them as an icon or as a symbol. Anyway, end of the thing rant. Catch us next PIPCAST in 2 weeks on another Sunday, where we talk about some other Fallout stuff. 10 a.m. Pacific.
We'll talk about QuakeCon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, QuakeCon or something. I don't know what.
And maybe more Blizzard if things go even deeper ahead.
Maybe. Quite possibly. But until then, hope you all stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, eat your peas, and we'll see you in the next one.